Well, first and foremost, man, it feels great to be back. I love this game, but I also love Jessica Carter and Aaron Barnum. Man, for those two also, to come back the way they did with 42 points, 19 for 27 from the field, and 19 rebounds. It's safe to say our team's back. There was a great chemistry about us, and I'm excited where we can play again here Thursday against a really, 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 did I say really yet? Good Jackson State team. So really proud of a great team effort. And there was a lot of people that I want to shout out, especially Miracle Shephard, freshman, 7 steals, 6 in the first half, tied 7th most in a single game, especially in a game when Morgan Williams comes back into town. So for LP and Miracle to play so good, it just was a fitting night on a special night.
Robbie in the front.
Jessica didn't really look like she'd missed a couple of weeks, came in there and was, from the start, seemed really aggressive. And what have you seen from her leading up to this ball game that maybe gave you some confidence she could do this tonight?
Yeah, we just talked about, I've got competitors in that locker room. Even though we were down 2 players, there was a point where we were top 20 in the country. Our team was feeling themselves, then we got punched in the mouth. So she felt like, man, I want to get back out there and help my team, and I think you saw that kind of look tonight. She can change her hair color as much as she wants when she puts up the numbers like that. That's what I told her at the end of the game. She was unbelievable, and it's like what I said when I took the job. I think I've got one of the best post players in the country, and tonight she put up the numbers to back up that statement.
And she, puts up those 31 on 14 of 19 shooting, a real efficient night. I guess when she's got it going like that, is it easy to kind of tell the team, keep feeding her, let her keep going?
Well, you would hope I wouldn't have to tell them, right? Again, credit to LP. LP, she's been scoring the ball so well. What does she have tonight? What does she end up with? 4 points, 9 assists. Last 2 or 3 games, she's been killing it, scoring. But I really thought she saw that the mismatch was inside, and credit to her for just getting just the ball and getting our team off to a great start.
Robbie.
When you look at those 2 games, the last 2 games that you'll have before this one, what was kind of your impressions, your thoughts on what led to those? Obviously, having Jess and Aaron on the bench was a big factor, but what was kind of your takeaway?
Well, I think everything happens for a reason. I'm excited that actually happened because, first of all, Miami's now in the top 25. All right, we also lost to a UTC team who made it to the NCAA tournament, so it's not like we played the Sisters of the Poor. So for other kids on our team to get minutes, that's going to be huge for us come March, especially like Miracle and Jazz. I thought Jazz played the best she's played all year. I was so happy. She finally looked relaxed. She looked confident. She made a great pull-up, which I think she's got one of the best pull-up jumpers in the country. So those minutes that had to occur for other kids are only going to make our team better and most importantly, more deep.
Ben in the front.
You had a little stretch there in the third quarter where things got a little bit sloppy, and you took a timeout. What changed after that little bit, and you guys proceeded to dominate the last 25 minutes or so?
I call those timeouts come to Jesus meetings. Okay, we're gonna find out real quick. All right, that's not Happy Sam. There's Happy Sam, and then there's y'all better pick it up, Sam. And that's what those 2 timeouts were because, again, it was, we were missing players, but I also told my team, we got to get our swagger back. There's certain things where you guys are top 20 in the country. There's a lot of talent in that locker room, but you can't just roll out the ball and think you're just going to go get it because everybody's back. You got to earn it every single possession. So those timeouts were early because I just thought, and a credit to Octavia Blue, who's a good friend of mine, who's the head coach at Kennesaw State, her team plays hard. I thought those kids were playing harder than us, so that's why I called a timeout and challenged our team, and I'm really happy with the response I got.
Grace in the back.
Jess and Aaron were just saying it's like Miracle never turns off, like ever, and especially at her age. How big of a spark is that for you guys?
Yeah, it's huge. Miracle is honestly a miracle. No pun intended for the holidays here, but she really is. She's just a miracle. She's a joy. She's obviously a special place in my heart because that's the first kid I signed out of high school. But I fell in love with her for what y'all saw tonight. When I went to every high school game in AAU and watched her, she just was relentless. Her shoulders are so strong, but it's her motor and her mindset that sets her apart. A lot of my players I try to teach or coach, I tell them every time a shot goes up, don't have the mindset that it's going in. Have a mindset that it's going to be off so you can make those hustle plays. And guess what? She does that as a freshman. And I thought the offensive rebound that she got on the free throw line, and then she had 2 putbacks that were just a huge spark for us there in that first half.
Robbie.
I don't need any specifics or anything, but no, how are you feeling?
I feel better. I feel better because you look good, Robbie. Okay? You got a great haircut, fresh shave. I missed you, buddy. All right? I'm not trying to get emotional, but I feel great. And obviously anytime your team puts up 91 points, I feel really good tonight. So, it's a joy. This is a passion of mine. There's an energy and a love that I have for this game. So to have to sit out and watch on TV was hard. But give a shout out to Michelle Clark-Hurd, too. All right. Obviously, she is a proven coach. She's a winner. What she did, and along with my staff, I also want to give obviously a shout out to my staff too for filling in when I was out. That Tulsa win now is a huge win. They just went Jimmy, yesterday? Yeah, they just beat Florida yesterday. So for us to handle Tulsa the way we did when I was out for that game is a statement, and most importantly, credit to my staff.
For you missed 2 of the last 3 games. You had Jess and Aaron. The depth was, pushed, and then you guys have a week off to kind of think about those 2 losses.
Yeah.
What did you see from your team in that week, and kind of how y'all as a group handled the adversity that was handed to you a couple weeks ago?
Yeah. I just looked at them as like, let's get back to the basics. For me, I love the schedule that we have. We played a lot of games. Shout out to Jimmy U. All right, best Dobo in the country. All right, he challenged us quick, but also shout out to Jimmy U for not giving me any practices because we haven't had time to get better. We haven't. We've been playing so many games that it's been learning on the fly. So for us to finally have practices and say, all right, what are our weaknesses? What do we need to get better? Let's hone back in. The talent's in here, but I got to see a dog mentality. Again, I told them, you need to play for 4 quarters. And that 2-game stretch that we lost the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter overall. And then most importantly, we got dominated on the boards. So I told them, if you're back, you show me tonight starting with this first game. And so for us to win all 4 quarters and then most importantly win the boards, I think they're listening, and I like where we're going moving forward.
Ben in the front.
And Jerkayla, it seemed like she was just having, normal. You just kind of look up and she's got 19 points. It seemed like I guess about
Yeah.
like her consistency, her day to day, the work that she puts in. It seemed like a quiet night, but she still had a big game.
Yeah, well, last month she was who? Well, I'm going to quiz you here. Who was she last month? Miss who? Do you remember? Miss November. Okay, what's today's date, guys? December. So I told her, don't wait till March again and miss February. I need you every month, jerk. And I told her that, seriously. I told her before the game, I said, hey, kid, I'm back, and it's December. So you going to be Miss November? And is she gone, or you also going to be Miss December? And guess what? She said, Coach, I got you. Because I think she's an All-American. I think I got one of the best guard and posts in the country. But like I tell them, I only could talk so much. You got to back it up. So to your point and your question, I'm proud of her coming out the gate and then being consistent with what we saw in November.
Robbie in the front.
Robbie, have I said yet how good you look with this new haircut?
I appreciate that.
Yes.
I really do. Yeah, I've heard it more from you than my wife. It's kind of hard not to notice Goni on crutches.
Yeah.
Do you have an update on her status?
Yeah, she's out 4 weeks, man. I know. Dang. Bulldogs are just taking bites. We're taking bites, but you know what, man? Her spirit's great. She's working hard behind the scenes, but just a freak accident, man. That's kind of been our story. But again, I'm a firm believer everything happens for a reason. Other kids get opportunity. Other kids get minutes. Shout out to Near. All right, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. This is a kid that I've been honest about that has to get in better shape because we've seen ooh-wee moments from her where she'll have blocks that I'm like, oh, my gosh, are you kidding me? And those putbacks, her arms are so long that my jaw just drops every time. But I also tell her, then do it again on the other end. Like, get a rebound on the offensive end, then dominate on the defensive end. Then go back to the offensive end. Because when you start doing that, now you look like Jessica Carter, who's one of the best post players in the country. So for Near to give me 6 minutes, I think, and 30 seconds when I didn't sub her in that fourth quarter makes me really happy moving forward.
Final question.
Kind of looking ahead at the schedule, you mentioned Jackson State, and then you guys got 2 road games after that. I
Yeah.
guess just how big are these next few games for you guys going into SEC play?
Yeah, they're huge. They're huge. Again, I talked to y'all about that we might have a better team with a worse record. Like, there's nothing easy about our schedule. Again, shout out to UTC, who's a great team, who's going to probably win their conference. And then, obviously, Miami, who's in the top 25. You got Jackson State, who's played multiple Power 5 teams, and she's got multiple Power 5 transfers in that starting lineup. And then you got Memphis, who just beat Southern Miss, who Southern Miss just beat Ole Miss. And then we go to an undefeated Colorado State. So we've got our work cut out. But again, that's why you come here. That's the kind of culture and program that I want. I don't want to just go play the Sisters of the Poor that you're going to win by 50 every single night. I want to challenge my team, because if we can challenge them now, then they'll be ready come March.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody. Missed everybody.
Jess, I guess for you, when did you kind of start to feel that you kind of had a groove tonight and really got to go in? And I guess just, what's it like when you're kind of feeling like that?
Well, I've had a while. Like, I've been sitting out for a while. I watched a lot of basketball, watched what my team needed. And this week in practice, like, I've been feeling it. I've just been so happy and grateful to be back around the people that just bring the most positivity in my life right now. So I just enjoyed the moment tonight and just did what I did and, like, just kept doing what I did in practice. So, yeah.
How difficult was it to miss those last few games and watch your team? And, last couple of games, y'all lost a couple of ball games and you're having to sit and watch. I mean, how difficult was that?
It was pretty difficult, but at the same time, I knew what type of team we had, and I know what we're capable of, so I knew what we were going to get back. But it was just the point that I couldn't be there and just sit on the bench and cheer them on. That I feel like that's what hurt the most. But at the same time, I just knew that we were going to bounce back. So tonight, it's only up from here.
Ben in the front.
Aaron, similar question for you. You missed the last couple games. Go on and score the first basket of the game tonight. What's going through your head in that moment, knowing, hey, I'm back, I'm helping the team again?
Yes, I think while I was out, I was watching practices, traveling with them on the road. So I got to see a lot of behind the scenes of things that I don't get to see when I'm on the court. So when I was back out there today, I just kept that in my mind and tried to keep us together as much as possible. I mean, I think everybody go through adversity during the game, but being able to pull yourself back to it and remember while we all here. So that's the most important thing for me today.
Robbie in the front.
Miracle really gave the team a lift off the bench. Just 7 steals. You had, I think, 6 in the first half. I mean, just how would you kind of describe your role right now as a true freshman?
Definitely bringing energy on the defensive end and just hustle plays and going after it. Like, if you ask my teammates, that's what we do in practice, and we just get after it.
Aaron, you guys end up with 16 steals as a team, obviously 7 of those from Miracle. Just how much does that kind of ignite the offense for you guys, having that success on defense and being able to push the pace?
I think the biggest thing this week during practice was let the defense flow into our offense. So, we knew that they send 5 people to the board, so we was out practice saying that if we play hard defense and we get the rebound, we could push and transition. So we were just trying to turn them over in defense to get our offense flowing.
Grace in the back.
Miracle, just watching you, it's so relentless on the boards or whether it's getting steals. I mean, what, I guess, drives you in that sense? And then for you, Jess and Aaron, what is it like watching her as a true freshman?
What drives me is knowing that, defense wins games. So it's my motivation, and I'm just very excited to play defense because I know it creates offense.
Yeah, well, from the first time I met Miracle over the summer, just workouts, I knew that she was different. She brings a different type of energy to the team. She's the dog. She's that blue-collar player that Mississippi State loves to have. That's the type of player that we're used to having. So it's Miracle brings that for us, and it gets us going. Even me being, a senior, I feel like I'm a super senior at this point, but, her energy and how hard she works just carries on to everyone else.
Yeah, like Jess said, I think when you say somebody works hard, you just think, they do it when people watching, but Miracle is never turns off. Sometimes people Miracle, slow down, please. But she always is like that, always. And that's going to take her far with basketball.
Yes.
We'll fit in the front.
Jess, there was that stretch in the third quarter where you guys were a little bit sloppy, and they made a bit of a run. What changed after that? You guys really came back and dominated those last 15 minutes or so.
Well, Coach Sam talks about it a lot. Fall back to our training. He talked to us in the huddle. He said what he had to say, and we just had to fall back to our training. What we had worked on in practice, we worked on the basics in practice this week, so we just had to fall back to that and just get back to ourselves.
Robbie in the front.
How do both of y'all feel right now physically? I mean, obviously, it didn't seem like you are too rusty, but everything going good right now?
I'm feeling great.
I'm feeling happy, ready for the next game.
Yeah, I'm just glad to be back. This is our last year, so it's like, okay, we're taking it one game at a time. We're back.
Right.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's just keep going.
Any more questions? Thank you.
And see. Oh, we did that.